Jai Hind children, welcome back to the online class. Today we are going to learn a new chapter from our textbook. The chapter name is Fair Play. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the value of friendship. Including me and you, all of us have friends, right? We will select our friend according to some characteristic, maybe their qualities, right? In this chapter, we are going to learn a strong bond between these two friends and we are going to learn the value of friendship. Shall we start the chapter? Please listen. Chapter 7 Fair Play, Part 1. Juman Sheikh and Algu Chowdhury were good friends. So strong was their bond of friendship that when either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. Both were greatly respected in the village. Juman had an old aunt who had some property. This she transferred to him on the understanding that she would stay with him and he would look after her. The arrangement worked well for a couple of years. Then the situation changed. Juman and his family were tired of the old relative. Juman became as indifferent to her as his wife, who grabbed even the little food that the old lady wanted every day. She swallowed these insults along with her food for a few months, but patience had its limits. Juman had an old aunt who had some property. This she transferred him on understanding that she would stay with him and he would look after her. So Juman had an aunt and she gave property to Juman by putting a condition. She stayed with her till her life end and Juman want to take care about the aunt. This was the condition. The agreement worked well for a couple of years. Everything is going very smoothly for a couple of years. Then the situation changed. Then the situation, the Juman's family situation changed, and Juman wife make a quarrel with the aunt, and Juman also make quarrel with the aunt, and there is a small there were small issues raised in their family, and the aunt accept all these and she tried to live in their family, but alas the aunt say the patient has its limit, everything has its limits. So alas aunt started to burst out. One day she spoke to Juman. My son, it's now obvious that I'm not wanted in your house. Kindly give me up a monthly allowance so that I can set up a separate kitchen. My wife knows best how to run the house. Be patient, said Juman shamelessly. This made his aunt very angry and she decided to take her case to the village panchayat. For many days, the old lady was seen talking to the villagers, explaining her case and seeking their support. Some sympathized with her, others laughed at her, and few others advised her to tell this matter to the nephew and his wife. So many issues occurred in their house. One day, the aunt spoke this case to Juman, and she asked the Juman her to give a monthly allowance and separate house for her. But that makes Juman very angry, and Juman told to aunt that my wife knows best how to run the house. Be patient. Juman told aunt to be patient and stay with there. His wife knows everything in his life. That made the aunt very angry and she decided to take her case to the panchayat, and she went to many people and talking this to many people for seeking their support. By listening to this story, some people sympathized with her and some other laughed by listening this case, and some other people told her that go and tell this case to the nephew and her wife and make a solution inside your house. Some people give generally a good advice that please solve this solution, please solve this problem inside your house. At last, she came to Algu Chowdhury and spoke to him. You know, Chachi, Juman is my best friend. How can I go against him? Algu said. But is it right, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair? Pleaded the old lady. Come to the panchayat and speak the truth, she said. Algu didn't reply, but her word kept ringing in his ears. So the aunt seeking permission, seeking support from all the villagers. At last, she went to Algu Chowdhury and she explained the situation about the matter that happening in her house. By listening to her voice, and Algu Chowdhury said, Auntie, Chachi, Juman is my best friend. How can I go against him? Juman is one of my best. He is my best friend. How can I talk against him? But is it right, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair? By listening to Algu Chowdhury's word, the aunt said, why you need to support Juman as a mom, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair. You just come to panchayat and told from your heart which one is right or which one is wrong. You wanted to support not me or Algu Chowdhury. By listening the thought, listening the right incidents. After listening the right incidents, you can say which one is right or which one is wrong. So please come to the panchayat and speak the truth. So you wanted to come to the panchayat and speak the truth. She said, and she went. But after some time, aunt's words were ringing in his ears, that is Algu's ears. These aunt's words start disturbing Algu's mind very badly. Part 2. The panchayat was held the same evening under an old banyan tree. Juman stood up and said, The voice of the panchayat is the voice of the god. Let the aunt nominate the head panch. I will abide by her decision. At the same evening, the people united together and started the panchayat. In that panchayat, Juman stood up and said, Let the aunt nominate the head of the panch. I will abide by decision. Let the aunt want to select the head panch and I will follow the decision of the head panch. The panch knew neither friend nor enemy. What do you say to Algu Chowdhury? The old lady announced. The old lady, she was very clever. The panch knows neither friend nor enemy. In that panchayat, nobody want to keep any partiality. There is no friends, no enemies. So the aunt nominated the name of Algu Chowdhury. Fine, replied Juman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Juman, said Algu. I know that, replied the aunt, but I also know that you will not kill your concerns for the sake of friendship. God lives in the heart of the punch, and his voice is the voice of God. And the old lady explained her case. Juman, said Algu, you and I are old friends. Your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I'm a punch. You and your aunt are equal before me. What have you to say in your defense? 3 years ago, began Juman, my aunt transferred her property to me. I promised to support her as long as she lived. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. Now my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. This is not possible. That's all I have to say. At last, the clever aunt selected Algu as the panchayat, and that by listening this word, Algu said, Aunt, you are aware, not Aunt, Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with the Juman. By listening the words of Algu, Chachi said, I know that, dear. I also know that you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. I know that you will also stand with the truth. But on the base of friendship, I knew that you are not going to kill the value of truth. God live in the heart of the Panch, and his voice is the voice of God, and Panchayat is considered as the God, and Panchayat voice is considered as God's voice. So I know that you will stand with the truth. After that, Algu said, Juman, you and I are all friends. Your aunt is as dear as to me as you. Now I'm a Punch. You and your aunt are equal before me. What have you to say in your defense? After listening the voice of aunt, Algu said, Juman, you are my best friend. Like that, your aunt is also important to me. In your case, what is your defense voice? The Panchayat asked. Juman said, 3 years ago, my aunt transferred her property to me. Before 3 years, the aunt gave her property to me, and I promised her that I will take care of her. A couple of days before, a small fight between my wife and aunt started in my house. But uh, I can't able to stop that. Now the aunt is asking for the chachi is asking for monthly allowance and a separate kitchen for her. I can't give her now, said the Juman to the Panchayat. Please listen to the seventh para. Juman was cross-examined by Algu and others. The Algu announced, we have gone into the matter carefully. In our opinion, Juman must pay his aunt a monthly allowance or else the property goes back to her. Now, the two friends were seldom seen together. The bond of friendship between them was broken. In fact, Juman was Algu's enemy and wanted his revenge. After listening the words of both sides, at last the went to a Panchayat took a decision. Juman want to pay a monthly allowance to her aunt. Otherwise or else the property will goes back to her. Now the two best friends became the good enemies. The bond of the friendship between them was broken, and in fact, Juman was Algu's enemy, and Juman wanted to revenge with the Algu. The friendship between these two people were broke because of the case between Juman and his aunt. At last, the Juman want to take a revenge with his enemy. His enemy is the Algu. Is it clear? Read the chapter twice or thrice and understand the meaning of the para. Is it clear? In the next class, we can discuss the next part, remaining part, and the question and answer. Thank you.